Hi everyone, Mr. Trombley here. I'm going to go through how to create your climate graphs on Google Sheets. So what you're going to have is not everything I have up here, obviously. I've put some of the data in just so I can show you, and you're going to need to enter in the data. What you'll have at the top is this part, the month average precipitation. You will have these panels set up for you, but you notice here I've actually put the data in and put the graph in. You need to go ahead and do that. I'm going to show you a couple of tricks for getting data in and creating charts. That's what this is about. So you see here from the sheet, this is the Toronto 1840 to 1859, and it's from your worksheet that you will have. And that's where I got that data from. Now you notice with months, I've left it blank because there's a little trick that might save you some time. If you type in January and February, just type in the 2 months. If you just select on January, I think it should recognize the pattern and type in all the months for you. Okay, so it might save you, 30 seconds or so, depending how fast you type you are. Okay, what we want to do is our first step. We want to select all our data. Okay, so you just grab the month and then just hold down your left click and go all the way down there. Up here on the right hand side, you're going to see a little button. It says insert chart. We're going to go insert that chart. Now, it looks horrendous. This is not what we want. But don't worry. All we have to do is change some settings. Okay, so I'm going to go through them and this will make sense. The month, the x-axis, the bottom axis, we definitely want it to be month. The series, well, yeah, we got 2 series on here, so we are fine with everything on this page. What we want to do now is go to customize, and there's some things that we have to change. So under chart style, nothing much changes. All we want to do is go smooth. Now you can change the background and the chart border color. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you could if you wanted to. Okay, and so we'll just go ahead and close it up. That's all we need to do there. Chart axis and title, well, yeah, we want to give it an axis. What the title here is Toronto climate, and then you just put in the date. Okay, and then none of that. We don't have to change any. Okay, so that's all we have to do for chart title and axis so far. So far, so good, right? Then we want to go to series, and we want to separate the 2 series, right? Right now, everything applies to both series. We want to separate the 2 series, so we want to grab temperature. Okay. If you notice here, I've set up 2 different scales on the sides here, so we're just going to go ahead and set that up. Now, if you ever lose this, don't worry. See, I did this on purpose so we would lose the options. You just go here and just go to chart, and you just got to go back to where you were. So under series, we're going to take temperature. Now temperature, right now it's the columns, right? We don't want it as a column. What we actually want it as is a line. You always want to do temperature as a line, not a column. Color, I mean, we're just going to make it red because as you'll see, the colors, they show up better. And that's about all we have to do for temperature right now. And you notice down here now, there'll be, in a second here, we'll have 2 separate options here. Okay, so there we go. We're good so far. And then we go to the other series, we go to precipitation. We're going to want to change precipitation to blue. Right, I think this blue looks nice. We'll go with that blue. And these ones we actually want as columns. Okay. Now you still notice it kind of looks funky because, we only have one line and all that. But don't worry, we'll get there. All right. So now what we want to do is legend. We don't really want to do anything to legend. And horizontal axis, nothing much is going on here. Okay. Where it really comes into is the vertical axis. Right? What we want to do is, oh, we don't want to touch that. We want to, where was it? Was it here or was it under series? Oh, yeah, so it's under series. It's under here, under series. So, sorry, we want to go back up the series. Precipitation, we want to graph it off of, if we look over here, we want to graph precipitation off our left-hand side. So under access, under here, we go back to, let's see, series, and we take precipitation, okay, and it's on the left axis, and we're okay with that so far. All right, and then what we want to do is we want to change the right one. We want to go up here and grab temperature. So now we want to grab temperature. And what we want to actually do is grab this and we want to make it a right axis. See, when I do that, when I make it right axis, now I have a new axis pop up on the right hand side. Okay, so really the key here to make this chart work is that we have to go to series, separate the series, put precipitation on the left, which you don't touch it, and then temperature, we just go ahead and flip it on the right. Okay, and then that's that. So then now what you'll see happens actually is that we now have a vertical axis and a right vertical axis. This one on the left is the vertical axis, and we want to go down here and use minimum values. We want a minimum value of 0, and you're going to want to put a maximum value of 110. Okay, that's really what we want to do here. 0 and 110, and that's important because you see here we have a data point of 104. So we want to have it slightly above the max data point. Okay, we don't, right, those, I mean, whatever, you can just play around. Just make sure whatever you have clicked on one, you have clicked on the other. And there we go. Then we go to the right vertical axis, and I mean, you can show the axis line if you want, it doesn't really matter. And we want to do values. We want to go from -10 to +25. Okay. Now it's giving me these little error bars. I really don't care about those. If they're on your chart, it's fine. If they're not on your chart, it's fine. And that's basically what you do. See, now we have this nice little climatograph set up. And really the secret is just under your series to make sure that you separate them, and you just make the temperature as a right axis. And then if we go back to precipitation, it's left axis, right? These little bars I call error bars. If I just click that, they disappear. Okay. So we could do some other things, like you can put numbers on it like that if you want. I mean, that's kind of cool. You can go data labels. That's about all you'd want to do on the bar. I mean, that's why we have these, but you can't do it. If we go to temperature, there's some other cool little things like you can do data labels, which that maybe becomes too much. What you can do here, this is interesting, is if you do point size, you can actually make it so we have our little points per month. So now you can start seeing the points per month. And I mean, if you do this, this is fine. I just want you to be consistent between your two graphs. So I think on the other graph we did this, and I think on the other graph we didn't have any of the data labels. Okay. So now we have our two graphs. So one graph, two graphs. Now this one I put a different color blue on here, which it's okay, and I have a different grid. But you'll eventually go consistent. What you want to do is you want to grab the graph, just click on it. If you just press Control C, you can now bring it over to the other side and press Control V, and you should be able to, if you zoom out a bit, right, I might have to zoom out to, let's say, 90%. I can actually grab these two charts and I can put them side by side, and if I kind of make them so they're the same size, it now becomes quite easy to compare. Right? Since my scales are all the same, well, this one is actually 110. So right now I'm looking at, oh man, this goes up to 110. This only goes up to 100. Uh-oh. My scales aren't the same, so I can't really compare the graphs. So again, we know how to fix that. We just go back to your first graph, well, your second graph depending, you go here. Remember, this was the vertical axis, and just under here, we just want to change it. Okay, and so I'll grab this chart and I'll bring, let's just get rid of the chart. I'll just bring this chart back over. Okay, Control C, Control V, and I'll just line them up side by side. Supposedly, yeah, there we go. So I can just line them up side by side, and you just want to grab them. There we go. So now I can compare, right? I can make comparisons as to the shape and the temperature. I can make comparisons to the precipitation, and I'm comparing apples to apples. Okay. Now you can edit this one from here, right? So this should be 2000 to 2020. So if you notice little mistakes, you can do that. Yeah, besides that, that's pretty much what we're at. Other things you can add in, you can look at doing like an average and get the averages, the yearly averages if you want. You can do that, but basically if you get to this point, you're pretty good. Two nice clean little climatographs or climate graphs. See, this one I said climatograph, this one I said climate graph. So if you don't like how it's inconsistent, I could be like, well, I like how I like how the other one looks, right? I like Toronto climate, so I'll just change that to Toronto climate. So when you have them side by side here, you can make all the little adjustments you need in order to make them look perfectly the same. Okay, well that's about all I have for you in terms of setting up these graphs. Again, you're not going to have all this stuff in yours. It'll be deleted. None of this stuff will be there, but hopefully this video shows you how to use our graphing tool and go through the menu. If you need to, just watch back through the video and pause it at all the spots you need to in order to get what you need. Otherwise, I wish you luck, and yep, enjoy.